Steps to enroll yourself to be a RN in Canada, Toronto.
Hello and welcome to all. First of all, again, thank you to Sri Baldanla for making this platform for all the immigrant nurses because this platform can be of a great form of resource or a guidance for all the immigrant nurses, and I'm really happy and elated to be a part of it. So for today, I would like to discuss more about how to procure your RN license in Canada, Ontario, Toronto. So my discussion today, I have kind of laid out in a form of a PowerPoint presentation. Doesn't consist of much slides, but then I think 3 or 4 slides. So each slide is very significant, and each slide I have put in my viewpoints, points that I feel is very important for everybody to remember. And the last slide I have kind of put in together like a aerial view, like overview of how your journey towards RN license from NNAS to RN license uh, goes by. So therefore I will be giving voiceover for each of the slides, and I hope you all will have a very informative session. And if you do have any doubts, you can always leave a comment or a question below, and then if I can answer it, then I will try to do that, or else if I do not know about it, maybe I can ask around and then get back to you. All right, then let's start the session.
So before we begin, I would like to discuss about the different provinces and their nursing regulatory body. Many people they are not aware about the fact that each provinces is governed by their own nursing regulatory body. So we have to make sure which provinces are you going to, whether it's British Columbia, whether it's Alberta, whether it's Manitoba, Ontario. So for example, in Ontario, the main nursing regulatory body is College of Nurses of Ontario. For example, how in India we have different states, for example, New Delhi or Karnataka, and the nursing regulatory body in New Delhi is the Delhi Nursing Council, and how in Karnataka we have the KNC, that is the Karnataka Nursing Council. So likewise, each different province has their own regulatory body. Though the major steps are almost the same, but then there are differences, and there are different criteria by each of the nursing regulatory body. So we have to take into consideration the fact that the province that you are planning to settle down. So have a look at this slide and then read through the nursing regulatory body of that province that you are intending to go to, and then this will kind of give you a better idea.
So there are mainly 3 classes of nursing group: the nurse practitioner, the registered nurse, and the RPN, that is the registered practical nurse. So these are the mainly 3 groups of nurses. Now, coming to the second point is to keep working. I would sincerely would like to tell all the nurses to keep working till you are ready to immigrate, because this is mainly to keep your safe period safe. Now, safe period is the period of 3 years within which 3 years, if you write your exam, if you procure your NCLEX, you can easily work immediately after you write the NCLEX. Now, safe period usually accounts for three years from the last day of your work, right? Suppose you leave your work 2019 January. Now your safe period will be 2019 to 2021 and 22. So within these 3 years, you have to, after immigrating here and after landing down here, you have to go through NNAS, you have to go through CNO, get the papers, and get your assessment done. And then as per that, you are going to write NCLEX, or you are going to write IE and CAP. So all these you have to finish, study, right? All these are going to take a lot of time, right? So, and once when you write your NCLEX, and till 2020, if you are able to write your NCLEX, right, then you are eligible to work immediately. Now what happens when you take more than 3 years to finish all this? Then that's when the problem occurs, right? Safe period is only for 3 years, and if your safe period expires, even if you finish your NCLEX, right, you are not eligible to work. You are not eligible to work as a nurse. You may either have to go back to school, do a refresher course, or there's also an option of going back to your place of origin, produce evidence of work practice, and then come back, and then again uh, uh, and then be eligible to work as a RN. So that takes a lot of time. So please continue working till the time you are ready to come here. Now, language proficiency. Language proficiency is one of the main criterias uh, to be able to practice as a registered nurse here. So if you do have a very recent IELTS um, scores, it is good to bring it over, because that IELTS score can be very beneficial in support to your language proficiency, right? Now, significance of post BSc nursing. Now, for those people who have the diploma course of general nursing, so this is one point that I wanted to emphasize, because I have a few of my friends who has the diploma course of general nursing, and then they have also done the post BSc nursing course. Now the advantage that this post BSc nursing had is that since she has recently studied, right, she directly got the eligibility to write NCLEX, to write the CPRNE, right? That is the nursing board exam to get the RPN license. So again, the fresher you out of the college, the more probability you have of being able to write NCLEX or CPRN. Now, if you talk about NCLEX, I have seen or I have heard about one case where one of the girl who was fresh out from the college, who was also an international nurse, was given the eligibility to write the NCLEX as she has just passed out of from the college. So fresher you are out from the college, the more probability you have to be given the eligibility to straight away write NCLEX and CPRNE. So NCLEX and CPRNE, they are the two nursing board exams from the nursing body that we have here. So coming to the final piece of our discussion, and the most important one, that is the journey from NNAS to being a RN or a RPN. Now, NNAS is one of the first organizations that we come across. Uh, so it is called the National Nursing Assessment Service. It is a Canadian not-for-profit organization that offers a streamlined process for the IENs to submit their documents. So IENs are the internationally educated nurses. So NNAS is the first organization towards which we have to submit all our documents, right? And I strongly urge all the aspiring immigrant nurses who is aspiring to come to Canada, do it beforehand. Do it when you are at the place of your origin, because after coming here, if you start doing NNAS, then getting all the papers, getting all the signatures are going to be very difficult, and if somebody else has to do it for you, it's going to take you a lot of time. So do all the requirements for NNAs when you are there at your country before coming here. Now, people often ask, do I apply for both RN or RPN? It's your choice, right? So if you aspire that, or if you have if you feel that you are going to procure either RN or RPN, there are people who apply for both. I have applied for both. And there are people who only apply for RN, or there are people who only apply for RPN. So it's all up to you. But then from my perspective, I feel that it's advisable to apply for both, because due to any reasons, if your RN file doesn't go as how you expected it to go, you can always have the RPN file to rely on, right? Because if you only apply for RN, and later if you think that, okay, I want to do for RPN, maybe then you have to go through all the process again. So again, that's totally up to one's choice, but that's my perspective. Then NNAS is going to produce a report, and that report is going to be sent to CNO. Now, CNO is the College of Nurses of Ontario. This is, again, before I have described, it is the nursing regulatory body here in Ontario. So, again, they are going to assess our academic equivalency. Now, they are going to assess if the education that we have acquired is at par with their educational status, right? Now, first point, academic equivalency. When they approve of the documents that we have submitted, and if they feel that our academic knowledge is at par with theirs, then they might give the eligibility to write NCLEX or CPRNE straight away, right? NCLEX is for RN and CPRNE is for the RPNs. And then if you pass that nursing board exam, then you get the license of RN or the RPN. Now, what happens when there is no academic equivalency? So that happens when the CNO sees gaps in our education. That occurs when you graduated like more than 5 years, when you graduated like 6 to 7 years ago. So they give out a lot of competency gaps in our education level. Now those competency gaps can be made up by either going back to school, right? Or else they'll also give you the option of writing exams like IEN CAP for the RNs and CAS exam for the RPNs. And to guide you through this exam, there are various coaching centers, peer group help, or the Health First Ontario. And when you pass these exams, you get the eligibility to write the NCLEX or CPRNE. And when you finish those, again, your final goal is reached, RN or RPN, right? Now, when we talk about expiry of safe period, we have discussed before, right? Now, when that even if with this expiry of your safe period, even if you have written the NCLEX or CPRNE, you are not eligible to work immediately. For that, you might have to go back to school, do a bridging course or a refresher course, and then that will be submitted to the CNO. They are going to assess again, and maybe if you have written NCLEX, well and good, you are ready to work. And if your safe period expires and you have finished all the requirements, fulfilled all the competency gap, then you are given the eligibility to write the NCLEX or the CPRNE, and then your final goal is reached, that is RN or the RPN. So this is a general overview of the pathway that me and some of my friends have gone through, right? Again, I'm saying it may not be just the same for all, but this is mainly a basic structure of how things work out here. Thank you. Okay, so we have come to the end of this session, and I really do hope that many of you have gained a lot of knowledge and information about immigration to Canada. And I really do hope that people who are watching it right now to please recommend it to any of your friends who are planning to come to Canada, because there are many information and directions or a reference point which will prove to be very beneficial for them, and which, if known before coming to Canada, will save a lot of their time. So here we all are trying to build in a stronger community wherein we all are trying to help each other. Being an immigrant nurse is not an easy task, right? So we all are trying to kind of push in together all the information at one place. So if you do have any further questions or doubts or comments, please feel free to write in the comment section, and I will try to answer them whenever possible. And then if you do have any suggestions, then you can also put it down there, because this is a common hub area for all the immigrant nurses, and any essential information shared is most welcome. So till we do have any other discussion points, you all take care, and then have a good days ahead. Thank you.